everyone, my name's Olivia Mori, and today we're doing some basic corrective makeup. As you can see, we're using the Ben Nye kit. The first thing you want to do is start off with the good foundation. Make sure that the one that you have matches your skin tone, and don't be afraid to mix a couple in order to get your desired tone. What's very important is to make sure you're blotting and not sliding the sponge across your face. This creates streaks everywhere and it looks awful. Believe me, I know it's hard to blot, but it works better. Make sure to get it all the way up into your hairline and all the way down your neck, because this will create a more even look. And don't you hate it when like someone's foundation stops at their face and then their neck is a completely different color? We're here to avoid that. And then blend, 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 blend until you have all the makeup that you want on your face, a good solid foundation, no gaps anywhere. That's what it should look like. Our next step is to go in with our contour. Here we're just finding all the natural shadows within our face and emphasizing that so that the audience can see it from far away. This is also where we just get super snatched. We're going to go in and get our cheekbones all smalled up. If you have a hard time finding the line between your cheekbone, just make that little kissy face, as you can hear I'm doing it right now. And then go under your jaw from the bottom of your ear all the way to the top of your chin on both sides. And then blend that down your neck a little bit just to make it more even. We'll blend it later, don't worry about it. Get the top of your chin, the sides of your nose. The sponge can be a little big on this part. As you can see, I'm going to go straight up into my eyebrow. You know, you don't need a sponge for this. You can go in with a smaller brush if it makes it a lot easier for you. A line across the top. This will create a cute little button nose. And then on the bottom parts of our nose, we're just going to emphasize those as well so that the sides stick out a little bit too. The hairline is super important. We do this, especially if you have a larger forehead, you'll just bring the line down a little more and it'll create the illusion of a smaller forehead. And it does the opposite as well. If you have a small forehead, just make the line a lot thinner toward the top and then it'll just look more normal. And make sure you go all the way up into your hairline, all the way. And when you're done, it should look a little like this. Don't be afraid to pause the video and recreate the look. We're moving on now to some highlighter. This is the opposite of contour. We're looking for all those little spots on our face where the light hits directly. These are usually protruding bones like your cheekbones, the bridge of your nose, your forehead, and your chin. So I'm just finding all of those right now, filling them in, making sure not to overlap the contour that we've already created. As you can see, I put some on my Cupid's bow just because I love to do that. And then forehead, and then the bottom, this is where your jawbone sticks out. And it'll look great right beside your actual contour. It'll make it pop a lot. I like to go under my eyes just to conceal them a little bit, like usually you would use concealer for that. It just takes care of the bags pretty well. And that's pretty much what it should look like. Again, if you need to pause the video, feel free, and then just blend it all in. There is such a thing as overblending though, and I'm sometimes guilty of this. So make sure you can still see the definition, especially from far away. Like, don't be afraid to walk away from the mirror for a little bit and see if you can still see it from far away, just to make sure that, you're doing the audience a favor. You're letting them see your beautiful face and all its features. And while you're blending, this is also the perfect time to look at spots where you might have not added enough or added too much. And we do have that ability, especially right now in time, to go in and fix those areas. You can see that you might blend some of it away and you need to add more. I know I do this in my cheekbones a lot. So just don't be afraid to experiment while you're doing it. And it should approximately look like this when you're all blended out. Our next step is to go in with a blush. This will give us a little liveliness. You want to make sure you're putting it up your cheekbones and mostly focus on the apples of your cheeks. As you can see, when I smiled, that's where it came. Make sure to tap off all the excess makeup and just work your way in. It'll always seem a little heavy at first when you're putting it on, but it is important to be able to see the rosiness of your cheeks, just because, like I said before, it'll bring more color into your face and will make you look more alive from far away. Especially because we know those stage lights can definitely wash us out, especially, like I mentioned before, if you are mostly ghostly like me. I like to do the tip of the nose as well as the forehead and a little bit of the chin too. Kind of how I mentioned those protruding bones that stick up a little bit. Oh, we saw me put too much on my nose and we just tapped it away, put some foundation on there to hide that. And now we look all beautiful, sun-kissed, and very much alive. Our next step is going to be to go in and do our eyebrows. You have our eyebrow pencil and our little brush. You want to make sure when you're brushing your eyebrows that you're doing it upward and following the actual shape of your eyebrows. When you fill them in, we're not doing crazy makeup eyebrows where they make them completely square and blocky and a lot bigger than they actually are. Ours is technically a lot simpler. We're just going in and filling our natural color and following the shape of our eyebrows. See? That was super quick. Already did one. All you do is follow your shape, fill it in, and then we go in with our brush just to blend it a little bit in case you have any harsh lines that were created when you did your eyebrows. Make sure to get all the way from the middle to the point, blend them out, and that's really it. You thought eyebrows were hard? Well, guess what? They're not. They're very possible and very quick to do. Now our next step is our lips. We're starting off with a lip liner, and what you're going to do is just trace the line around your mouth. If you wanted bigger, more full lips, you would trace slightly outside of the lighter line around your lips, and if you wanted smaller, more thin lips, you would trace slightly inside the coloring of your actual lips. Lip liner really helps to make your lipstick last longer. It keeps all of it inside, it reduces smudging, and overall just gives a cleaner look to the lip in general. It's very easy, very simple. Just try not to go too overboard with the lip liner. Next, we're going to go in with our lipstick. We're going to use a brush just to pad through it and then smear it on our lips. As you can see, the color between the lip liner and the actual lipstick is so close, and it's very easy to do. For some reason, I'm obsessed with doing lipstick, and this is one of the most fun parts for me. You just go in, fill her in, and then we look beautiful. Also, not gonna lie, I've stolen this makeup just to do regular makeup because I love the color so much. Looks very good, very natural, and perfectly accentuated. Eyeshadow is optional, but I figured I'd give you a nice neutral look to work with if you so desire. First off, we need a nude palette. These will be light browns and dark browns and just very earthy colors. Hey look, it's me in the mirror. Haha. Okay, next step. Before I get too distracted, we're going to take our bigger brush and go in with our medium brown. We're going to use this to cover pretty much the whole lid, focusing more on the outsides. We do the outside of the lid kind of where your brow bone is, just to lift the eyes in general. And then we have the color on the rest of the lid to sink it a little bit. Next, we're going in with our dark brown. This is only going to be on the corners of your eyes and then following the actual lid line. This will accentuate your eyelids in general, and also having it be in the corner of your eye creates that lift that we want. Then we're going to go ahead and go in on the other side and create the process all over again. Make sure you have both sides pretty even, and then just go in and blend it to make the lines a lot softer and not have it look too harsh and jumping out at you. Our last step is to take our lightest color and put this on the top of the lid. This will help super emphasize the lids, make your eyes look very prominent, very alive, very great, just in general. And that's it. That is our simple eye, and we just blend it out and we're done. But now we have eyeliner. Let me tell ya, this is where I see the biggest mistakes in theater. So what you want to do, and the most important part, is to make sure you are doing this on your waterline. I see the mistake where a lot of people put it beneath their lash line, and then they end up looking like pirates. Like, it's not good. We don't want it. So make sure you follow your lash line. Sometimes with this stick liner, it kind of clumps off a little bit. You can see a piece. Don't be afraid to just pick those off and fling them away. Here we go with the other eye. As you can see, you just pull the lid down and follow the waterline. I know it can be scary, especially for people who don't like to put things around their eyes, but I promise this is very painless, very easy. And that's all it is. It's very simple. It looks natural. As you can see, nothing is excessive. All it really does is accentuate the eye and make it pop out just a little more. Okay, this is also an optional section, but I like to do it because it creates a lift. We're creating winged eyeliner. Now, when I say winged eyeliner, I don't mean the crazy eyeliner that we see going all the way up to people's eyebrows. For this, we're going from the outside of the lid line to the corner of the eye. It is that small, but it will make a huge difference, especially if you have a little more droopy eyes. This will give you a beautiful lift, a very young look, just overall great. You go ahead and do the same on the other side. I know with a stick liner it's a little bit harder just because it doesn't print out as much on your actual skin, but if you keep working it, eventually it'll get there and it'll kind of blend in with the eyeshadow that you created and just emphasize that a little more. Make sure you work it onto your eyelid a little more because you also have like a top line. We're not doing the inside waterline of our eye. We're going over the lash line a little bit. That way it creates a good blend, and then that'll be covered up a little bit once we put mascara on. See, look at that beautiful little lift. It makes my eyes look so high and bright. Okay, next is mascara. We all love mascara. Make sure you mix it up good depending on which one you have. This is my own. I like to use my brow brush and just go in and separate all my eyelashes beforehand. That way you can avoid getting those big mascara clumps and having all your eyelashes stick together. So we just go in, we place it. I like to get the tips of my eyelashes and always facing upward. This will avoid any kind of mascara getting on like your eyebrow line or your eyelid, especially if you did your eyeshadow. You don't want that to get messed up. Work your way from the bottom and then twirling the baton upward, get a full coverage on your eyelashes. It's very simple, very easy. Of course, I'm going fast, so I'm not doing it this fast in real life. Take your time. Usually, for some reason, it always takes me 5 minutes to just do my mascara, and it's okay. But look how good it made our eyes look. For the bottom, this is important. Do not run it the way you were doing the top. You want to just like barely shake it from side to side, like it's barely touching your eyelashes, because the same way with like the eyeliner being underneath your waterline, it can create this crazy dark look. But that's it. So we're almost done. The last thing we need to do is just to put our concealing powder on there, mattifying powder. Some call it translucent powder, depending on what you call it. Get a good amount on there. As you can see, I probably should have stopped a little earlier because I did put too much on there. But make sure you blend it well into, and always start with a little bit because you can always take away. But you use this and you just pat around your face, very even. This will keep your cream makeup from like drooping, from just getting all streaky. It'll make it last so much longer, which is very, very nice. And it takes away that oily, shiny look, especially when we have bright lights on ourselves. We call this more like a matte look. And that's pretty much it. I threw my sponge away, but hey, this is what you got. If you need to repeat any steps, don't be afraid to go back. And thanks for joining me today. Bye!